Only on 7 News Detroit at 5, I'm sitting down with candidates running for Michigan's open Senate seat this week, profiling each of their campaigns. Today, I'm profiling former Congressman Mike Rogers, a former FBI agent and auto worker on the Republican side. In a one-on-one interview, I asked what voters can expect as part of his platform.
4 generations of Rogers served in the military. I served in the United States Army as an officer. My dad was a tech sergeant in the Air Force in the Korean War.
As a proud veteran, sitting down to a one-on-one interview inside a busy diner in Howell.
One thing we have to do is undo what the Biden-Harris agenda has done to us.
Republican candidate for U.S. Senate Mike Rogers laying out his vision for serving the people of Michigan. Rogers, a former factory worker and former FBI agent, telling me he's focused on tackling inflation and improving our economy.
Cost of groceries, cost of gasoline, their energy bill at the end of the month. Energy independence, that keeps money in the country. It also starts to bring down gas prices, which will bring down food prices, middle-class tax cuts right on top of it.
I asked Rogers where he also stands on electric vehicle development.
How do you view EVs and how to grow our auto industry here in Michigan?
We've got to stop the mandate. If you want to buy an EV, but there's interim steps that we can go through that are also just as good for the environment. Hybrids, markets work, mandates don't. If you want to buy an EV, buy one. Buy 10, don't care. But if you need a gasoline car to get for your family, you should be able to buy one.
On war being fought in the Middle East and on the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
The United States has spent a lot of money to support Israel and Ukraine. Do you believe we should continue to spend the money?
In Ukraine, we should make this a lend-lease program. They should have to pay us back for everything that we're giving them. People are just dying in place along that border. That is not a solution. It's not good for the United States in the long run, certainly not good for Ukraine in the long run. And Israel, listen, we need to get to the root of this problem, which is Iran. We have to recontain Iran.
And on women's rights, I asked Rogers,
do you support a national ban on abortion?
I don't. The people of Michigan in 2022 went to the ballot box and made abortion legal in Michigan and enshrined it in the Constitution. I'm not going to do anything that contradicts what is in the Michigan Constitution. I won't do it.
On the border.
In terms of immigration, you and your opponent both say there's a problem at the border, but you see it differently. What would you want to do?
Remain in Mexico. You have got to secure the border, finish the wall. And you can do this, it doesn't have to all be physical. It can be electronic as well, whatever that wall looks like.
Closer to home.
Michigan State University, we've had Oxford, we've had Rochester Hills. How do we stop mass shootings? And is it limited to mental health, or is there a component with guns?
We have plenty of gun laws. We just have to enforce them, number one. Mental health is clearly the root problem. If you look at all of the cases of the shooters, they've even had engagement, most of them, with law enforcement or with mental health professionals. We need to get a better handle on that.
Rogers telling me he has confidence in this election, provided that rules are enforced.
You're going to have anomalies in every election. It happens. In every state, we're doing poll watchers. We're recruiting people for ballot integrity. All of those things are going to be really important.
Lastly, Rogers addressing questions critics have raised about his residency.
You've been questioned about where your permanent residence is, and it's become public. What do you want to say to that end?
My residence is where I've been paying property tax for a few years. We decided to rebuild our house, and for some reason, people have decided that's important to them. I will tell you this, the reason the Democrats are so excited about my house is because they know they can't talk about what prices happen to your house.
As a husband and father, Rogers says he is proud to have already served for years in Congress, and he wants to now serve in the Senate because he believes there's much more work to be done. Tomorrow, I'll continue my series of meeting the candidates with a profile of a Democrat candidate for U.S. Senate, Rogers' opponent, Representative Alyssa Slotkin.